So what do you say, let's get back to building a race car. Who's ready to go see what kind of mischief we can get into today? Welcome back, everybody. It is old Big Mike and Ike.
Hello, everyone.
And we are back out here in the Hoopty Barn with the Project 2025 No Name Nationals build. And so far, we ain't got all that far, but we're getting there. And today's goal is we're going to make some mounts to hold this engine in place here on both sides, get her leveled out and all that business, and find a way to secure it. Mainly we're getting the placement in here, and then we are going to mate it to that transmission right there. I have the right there is the torque converter that came off of that one, and it has to be that torque converter because apparently this is an externally balanced dude. Let's see if we can find. Hold on here. There is a weight right there's that dude right there. See that weight on there? So that being said, we're going to put it back like it was. So we're going to get back on this thing and see if we can figure out some mounts. I don't know how long it's going to take to do that, so I'm going to figure that part out. We'll get her kind of leveled up on there and figure out our mounts, and then we'll mate this thing together and we'll be back. Okay, so one of the issues we're having with clearance is this dude right here. That fuel pump is just going to be in the way. So we figured out the clearance on the other side with that oil pump. We're going to do the same thing over here. I just happen to have a block off plate for that and a gasket in my hot little hands, and I got me a old school click clack back here that I know works because I've used it to transfer fuel quite a bit, and I figure I'll just mount that back there on the back of the frame, and we'll just have to do electric fuel pump because we don't have enough clearance to make this sucker sit down in there. I may have to do something different than this. This just probably ain't gonna work. So I don't know, but anyway, I'm gonna get rid of this and block that off, and then we'll drop her down and put that transmission on there, and we'll figure out where we're at again. All right, well, the youngin had to go to town to get us a couple odds and ends. Need a new oil pump gasket, or that there, and a couple bolts and some shop towels, whatever. Anyway, I just want to take a opportunity to let you know. I mean, if you've been with me a while, you know most of my projects that I work on are just silly whatevers. You know, it doesn't nothing real important. But what I do take very seriously is surface prep. Whenever I'm going to put a gasket on anything that has fluid, whether it be this oil pump or the fuel pump on the other side, or whether it be valve cover gaskets, whatever it is, I make sure my surface is perfect. Get all that little stuff off of there so that I get a good seal, because last thing I want is a leak when I'm out there playing around in my vehicle. Okay, so I went to set my torque converter in here, and I done the first clunk, and then I was waiting for the second clunk. When the second clunk happened, it shot transmission fluid out of there. So I believe we are in, and it looks like it's set back far enough. I do believe we are in there like swimwear. So let's get her mounted up. We'll drop this down and get her squared away. So you know how sometimes, as John was talking about on his live the other night, sometimes we have happy accidents. Well, I was changing out this filler tube for the transmission, and I went to pull it out, and this was broken. Just like that. I guess when they pulled it out, they broke it. I was going to change it out so that I would just have a regular dipstick tube that I could check my fluid levels with. Had I not done that, I guarantee you that would have been leaking everywhere. So, alright, we're just going to call that a win. We're going to put this one in, and hopefully no leaks. So, alright, we'll get that done. Okay, I don't know how many times I've said it or how many times I'll have to say it. I'm not a mechanic. And that being said, I don't do this all the time, and I forget things. Things like when you go to put those torque converter bolts in on that flex plate and that torque converter, they go in one way. And I forgot about that. So I took this thing apart like 3 different times trying to get that dude to line up. Finally, I got out my trusty scale and measured between the bolt holes and lined it up that way. So now I'm just now getting ready to get this dude picked up and try to line it up again. We're waiting on gaskets for the oil pump and waiting on exhaust manifold gaskets. We ordered them, but they won't be here till tomorrow morning. So anyway, that's fine. We'll still go ahead and I'll put on the starter, and we'll do a few little whatnots just for clearance issues, and we'll see where we're at. Well, dadgum, it's hot in here. About what, 100 degrees in this shop at least. Anyway, got our starter on there. Yeah, we got her all mated together today, and I mean, don't seem like a whole lot, but my goodness, I think we're done for the day. We got to go get our other parts in the morning anyway before we put that oil pump on and start checking for clearance again, so we can see where we're at in here. See if we can get this thing to fit down in here. It's going to fit one way or another. We're going to figure it out, and hopefully next time we're out here working on it, we'll get this sucker to fit. Tomorrow though, we're going to go to a parts reclamation facility, see what we can find. We need a couple things. So do me a favor, if you ain't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Say, you big dumb hillbilly, if you don't put in more hours, you ain't never going to get nothing done. And I'll tell you, you are probably right. But eventually, we just keep pecking at it. We'll get her all pecked out. So, till next time, you know, y'all keep watching. We'll keep working.